If you're struggling to get more work or grow your business as a creative entrepreneur, then you're probably doing one of these 5 things. Now, if you're new to the channel, a very quick introduction. My name's Ross Welch and I currently own 3 businesses: a service-based face-to-face business, an online business, and a rental business too. So it's fair to say that I know a thing or two about growing a business, growing a team of people, and having success. Now, it's important to know that you're not alone. These are things that I've personally struggled with throughout my creative entrepreneurship, and I see students time and time again making these same mistakes through my coaching platform too, which is why I wanted to create this video so that I can provide some valuable information for you to go and absolutely smash it this year. So let's get right into this. The most common thing that I see people do is, although they might have a creative business, they spend far too much time focused on being the creative side. And this thing called the curse of knowledge. And Chris Do from the Future Project, I recommend you go and check out his channel because it's absolutely amazing, because he really does provide some good insights into people who do just this thing. And they talk about the curse of knowledge. Now, as a creative person, we think that everyone else is creative and they understand our lingo, our certain terms and phrases that we use. And you got to remember that actually some people, even in marketing manager positions or business owner positions, aren't necessarily creative people. So what we spend a lot of time doing is just focusing and spending far too much time on the creative side of our business, being a perfectionist, and sometimes good is good enough. And what you're actually doing is cutting off so many opportunities, because then you're often not putting out lots of work. You're not actually putting things out into the domain to attract the right kind of potential client. You need to spend more time on the business side of things and understanding how businesses work, function, how sales work, and all of those things that really do make a successful business. And personally, with our main business, which is Perspective Studios, we're a video production company. I see this massively in the video market, where people want to spend tens of thousands of pounds on the latest camera equipment because they're a creative. They really want to focus on, providing the best creative experience and capturing the best high quality content, but they've got no clients to actually pay for their services because they lack the fundamental business knowledge. They lack the understanding of how to connect with brands in the right sort of way so that they can get paid exactly what they're worth or more than they're worth, regardless of the equipment that they have. Now, like I said, this is from experience as well. These are mistakes that I made. When I started out, I just thought if I had the latest camera or the latest tech, then I would be more employable by certain brands. They would want to work with me because I've got the latest thing. The reality is they just don't care. They don't care what kind of camera you've got. They just want to know that you can do a good job, you're the right fit for their business, you have an understanding of how their business works, and more importantly, you can provide value to their business. And that's what it comes down to. They're not that techie. And of course, yes, there is a limitation. Of course, sometimes you do need better cameras for higher quality work. But what we actually see is that most filmmakers in particular, their skill level doesn't exceed their camera equipment. And yet they're constantly investing in new camera gear, but unfortunately their skill doesn't match that. If you take the best camera and give it to the worst person, will they produce a good piece of content? The answer is no. But if you do it the other way around and give a bad camera to a really good person, they'll still be able to deliver on really good high expectations from the client. Now, obviously that's a filmmaking sense, but this same thing applies to web designers, any kind of creative industry, whether it's design agencies, branding, things like that. You sometimes have to just accept that your work is good enough. But if you're not making sales and you're not continuing to grow, then chances are it's because you don't understand the fundamentals of how the business works. And over the next few tips, I'm going to give you some ideas and bits of advice that will really help reposition yourself and focus more on the business side of things. There's obviously many of courses. My own, the Perspective Academy, provides over 25 hours of online on-demand coaching, specifically about what's required to understand the business side of a creative entrepreneur and how that you can leverage that to make sales, grow a business, employ a team of people, move into a studio, and have all of those things that you wanted. And that's not because I'm the most creative person in the world, it's because I understand fundamental business knowledge. Now, reason number 2 on why your business might not be growing, or you might not be growing as a creative entrepreneur, is because you're failing to communicate your real value to the client. And like I was just saying about focus on the creativity and the curse of knowledge, Generally, people will often use terms that are specific to their industries and expect that client to know exactly what that means. The best thing you can do when you're talking to a client is tell them about how you can have a positive impact on their business. Tell them all of the advantages that they have from working with you or using your particular product or service. Tell them about all the benefits, how their business is going to look at the end of it. When you go and buy a holiday, no one ever sells you the dream of going to the airport early in the morning, queuing up for hours, getting on the plane, flying to the destination, having a transfer, and then sitting on the beach. They don't do that. They sell you the dream of the end product, which is sitting on the beach in the sunshine with a nice pina colada or whatever it is. That's the dream. And in business, as a creative entrepreneur, you need to do exactly the same thing. You need to tell them about how this, whatever service it is, whether it's web design, branding, video production, photography, any of those things, is how that's going to transform their business. What's it going to do for them? How is it going to affect their sales and their impact? What's it going to do to their brand image? What's it going to do with engagement on their audience and in their platforms? What are those advantages? What are those benefits? And then you can tell them what kind of value that is in terms of money. Now, what would you do if I said to you that I can create a video that's going to convert cold audience members, so cold people who are visiting your website for the first time, into paying customers? How much would you pay for a service like that? Well, of course, it's almost priceless, because what you're saying that you can do is going to change my business drastically. And as a result, there's no real price attached to that, because if I paid £10,000 for something like that, then I'm going to be able to get more sales out of the back end, or if I'm going to pay £1,000 or £5,000. So that's why you want to sell the advantages and the benefits to the client first, and how is it going to help that client achieve their end goal. And that's what it's about. That client, that business that they work for, they're trying to achieve their own goal. So how can you provide a solution to that problem? And that's certainly something that I see a lot of creative entrepreneurs do time and time again, or they don't do it. And that's exactly why they struggle to make as many sales as they could and missed opportunities. And they might just think, hey, it's just because the client doesn't have budget for me, or it's not the right fit, or any number of those things. But generally speaking, they're really nice, easy get out clauses for the client. If they don't really like what you're selling them, they can't see enough value. And it comes down to this: if they can't see enough value in what you're selling them, then it doesn't have a price attached to it. Their budgets have all of a sudden shrunk. You'll be surprised at how many people who have said to us they've got a really small budget, and when we've provided them with the amount of value they're going to get and talked them through the process and the benefits and the advantages, and I'm not talking about we're going to go and do this, we have to prep our equipment the day before the shoot, we're going to storyboard the shoot, we're going to put time in on the shoot, you're coming with years of experience. They don't care about those things, because you're only talking about yourself. You need to talk about how this is going to benefit their business. This is going to benefit your business because of this. These are the advantages. This is how your audience are going to perceive you. This is the engagement rate. This is what it's going to do to your sales and conversions. That's when those businesses go away and they've managed to find the additional budget to warrant paying for our services. And it's a hard thing to get into. I can completely appreciate that. It's something that took me a little while to get into that habit. But when you're talking to clients, just think that, or write it down right now. Write down some benefits and advantages to your services that could really help your ideal customer. What does that look like? So you're prepared, so that when you're on your next business meeting, your next sales meeting, you're chatting to someone through Instagram even, you've got that ammunition ready so that you can tell them exactly how your product or service is going to benefit them. Belief systems comes into my third tip, and this really does strongly link to the previous 2 points as well. So belief systems is how you perceive a potential opportunity going, and how much effort you put in and results. And I've done previous videos on this, so I'm going to kind of keep this quite short. But ultimately, if you don't believe that your client or the person you're speaking to in this sales setting has the budget to go with you, or you believe that your service isn't worth 5, 10, 15,000 pounds, then guess what? The chance of that sale is next to none. It's like if I want the end result to be losing weight in the gym, but I believe that I'm not really going to achieve that. I'm only going to put in half as much action when I actually go to the gym. Because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh, it's all probably for nothing. I'm probably going to go and get a takeaway later on today anyway. So, it's not really worthwhile. So you're only going to put in half as much effort, which means that what happens is you get half as much results. So you think, well, I didn't really lose the weight I wanted to. I didn't really get as fit as I wanted to. And what does that do? That fuels your initial belief, which was the fact that you think that you can't really do it, or it's not really achievable, or this particular client is unlikely they're going to want to work with you. Don't try and guess what your client's move is. Just tell them all of those benefits, because when you try and guess how much budget they've got, that will sway how you position yourself as a business. And when you do that, instantly your success rate is going to be so much lower than it would do normally. So go into these business meetings with the only one focus, and that one focus is to find out from that potential client, how can you benefit them? What is it that they're trying to achieve? And then how can you help them on that journey? Price doesn't even come into it. And I strongly believe, where I know Chris Do says to bring up price first is a really important thing, because it kind of gets it out of the way. Hey, this is how much it is. I don't want to waste each other's time. But I strongly believe here in the UK particularly, that actually don't be the first to bring up price. Find out what that client actually wants. Get a full understanding before you then talk about pricing. Sell those advantages and benefits first, because then it makes that value almost valueless. You can almost say any price you want, and it's not going to have an impact, because otherwise you feel like you're on the back foot, like a boxing match. If they throw the first punch, if they say, this is, if you say what your budget is, you're constantly having to say, well, okay, well, it's £500 because this, that, and the other, and because of this, that, and the other. You're no longer talking about your advantages and how you can change that business. You're only talking about, okay, you get this much because of this much price. You're having to justify things the whole time. So try not to bring up price first, but have a belief that you're going to make this sale and that you're the right person to benefit their business. Forget money. How can you change this business? And that's where a lot of creative entrepreneurs fall short. And again, these things take time to learn, but they're all things that can be learned. So if you're sitting there now thinking, God, this kind of sounds quite confusing, I'm not sure I can just go in and do that next time round. Takes time. Just practice these things, and you'll definitely be in a much better position. And I know that because I'm sitting here with 3 businesses, and I do this time and time again, and I have to check in with myself and think, hold on, why am I presuming I know this person's budget? They might be a small startup business, but they might have just had £1 million funding. How can I benefit this person? And that's really something that communicates your value. It's business focused and not creative focused, and it also fuels your belief system so that you've got a better chance of success. If you're sitting there and saying, Ross, I've done all these things, this is nothing too new to me, I'm amazing and I do all of these things every single day, then the simple solution is keep reinventing yourself, keep adding new services, keep expanding as a business. Again, creative entrepreneurs focus on the creative thing. They don't necessarily look at it from a business side of things, which is, business is very non-emotive. You don't make business decisions based on emotions, but you make creative decisions based on emotions. You make creative decisions because you're excited about this particular thing. Business decisions generally tend to be quite matter of fact, quite analytical, quite structured. So look, we're creatures of habit, right? And as creatives, we generally just focus on what we're good at. So for us, perhaps it's video production. And you generally will get to a point where you start to plateau, and you need to think about what other opportunities there are within your business. And that's how you take yourself creatively to the next level, because you learn new industries. And again, you're starting from bottom and you're learning new industries and you're learning new creative abilities. And then that builds your better skill set and then makes you more valuable to different clients. It makes your portfolio more diverse, which means more people want to work with you, and that helps grow your business in turn. So try and think right now at the moment, what other services could you be offering? Could we offer social media marketing? Perhaps I don't know anything about social media marketing right now, but believe in your ability to learn this stuff and figure this stuff out. You could easily take a course in social media marketing. Jordan Platten and his Learn Ads platform is amazing. It's a really good thing. I've been personally mentored by Jordan before, and he's an absolutely amazing guy. So check that out if that's something that could be strong to your business. If you're looking at getting into filmmaking, then check out the Perspective Academy. If you want to learn about business, the Academy is good for that as well. But there's lots of other different bits and pieces that might be specific to your industry and the place that you're in right now. Or you might already know. You might think, actually, do you know what? I know about website design. I can make a good website on Squarespace. I actually know some clients that are looking for new websites, and I can provide video content for them as well. Or I'm only a videographer, can I learn photography and then offer that as a lower service, because photography is generally a little bit cheaper than video production. Think about these things, keep reinventing yourself, and that's going to help you grow as a creative entrepreneur and stop you plateauing or just simply going nowhere. And if you're going nowhere in business, then you're going backwards, therefore you're failing. Now, before I move on to this final tip and piece of advice, if any of this has resonated with you, if you've got any value from this video, please hit that subscribe button. We're growing this community and we've got some real momentum behind us. Also, please leave a like and let me know in the comments what you thought. What was your favorite part? What are things that you're struggling with? And I'm more than happy to provide some value in the comments or provide a whole new video on that particular thing that you're struggling with. That's the great thing about a small growing channel, is the fact that I can actually provide personal value to each one of the people in our audience. So if that sounds like a community that you want to be a part of, then hit that subscribe button and join us now. So finally, I see loads and loads of people, and I did this a lot, we always look for that next job. And I think because in generally speaking a freelance setting, if you're not using something like one of our RCP systems that provides clients on retainers so you can build a predictable cash flow, if you don't have any of that in place, then what you're probably doing is just going from job to job, because you're always looking at where that next piece of work is coming from, and you don't spend enough time looking after your existing clients. And that's the tip right here. That's where a lot of people are failing and a lot of people fall short, is because they spend too much time looking for a new sale opposed to looking after their existing clients properly and providing more value within them. It costs you around about 80% more to get a new client than it does to get repeat business from an existing one. Let that just sink in for a moment, because lots of people's mindset is simply just to keep going out and getting new clients time after time and after time. Where do these old clients go? Yeah, sure, some of them might come back to you, but most of them might not. You need to be proactive. You need to keep those leads warm. You need to keep looking after them. Every time it's their birthday, send them a birthday card. A big occasion, a wedding, a Christmas time, send them some cards, send them some gifts, and let them know that you're ready to help their business grow whenever they need your services. Or perhaps you used one of the previous points and expanded your portfolio and you now do social media marketing, let's say, then get in touch with those older clients. Say, hey, look, we're also doing this now. Is that something that could help your business? Because when we were last talking to you, you expressed the fact that you were finding it hard to get engagement or get people onto your website. We can do that as part of our social media marketing package. Would you like a call? You know, think about those things. Think about how you can help those businesses and continue to grow with them. We are a relationships-based company, and that's the same through all three of my business, whether it's video production, the online platform, or rental. We want to build relationships with clients and with students and with businesses so that we can all have ongoing success. It's a win-win strategy. We want to actively help them grow and achieve their goals, and in return, they help our business grow too. It enables us to employ a bigger team, pay for a studio, do really cool things as a business. So make sure you look after your existing clients. All you need is a simple CRM or a simple spreadsheet that just lists the people you've worked for and just put some notes. Last time you spoke to them, when was that? So you know, and every couple of weeks, just check that. Think, okay, I haven't spoken to Joe in a couple of weeks. I wonder how he or she's getting on, you know? Have a look at those opportunities and look after your existing clients, because that's where a lot of creative entrepreneurs fail, because they don't follow, you know, one or most of these strategies that I've told you today. And that's how you can simply overcome it. And it's just because it might not be in the forefront of their mind, because they're so busy in the day-to-day runnings of the business that they don't think about the future. And sometimes by having the best future possible, you simply need to focus on these core strategies that I've told you. Let me know what you thought in the comments, hit the subscribe button, let me know what kind of content you would like to see on this channel, And I really do wish you all the best. Being a creative entrepreneur isn't easy. It takes time, takes hard work and dedication. Nothing is going to be given to you. You have to work hard for this. And I mean really, really hard. But if you want it enough, then the sacrifice will be worth it. And when you achieve your success, it will feel so much greater. I really wish you all the best. Go away, make sure you implement these things in the business. Make sure you're applying these things to your business too. And until the next video, peace.